Hello and welcome to the Copper Show. This is your order status update from the Boca Mint for 22 March of 2021. We're still running a little bit behind on orders placed on the 12th and 13th. For orders placed on the 12th, 13th, and 14th. We're still running a couple of days behind, and for orders placed on the 15th, we're probably going to be about 1 day behind. We're definitely catching up. We purchased 200 pounds of copper today, so that's enough to cover all our orders placed up to and including today, which is 22 March. So we're gonna let you see a video of that in just a moment. And we do need to take a day now to reline our Devil Forge. We need to let it basically sit overnight. So we picked up 200 pounds of wire today. We're gonna reline the forge, let that set up, and strip all that copper on the same day. That'll be tomorrow, Tuesday, and we'll be pouring on Wednesday. We may pour tomorrow if we get everything stripped early enough, and if the refractory material on the forge sets up early enough. But usually it's better to do it, let it sit a full day and overnight. So we're going to show you some videos of that in just a moment. And again, we want to thank you all for being patient with us. We really got slammed on our orders. We did not know we were going to get so many orders. So we're going to make sure to cover them all. As I said, we have 200 pounds of copper now in stock that we purchased today. And that's going to cover, like I said, that's going to cover all the orders. So all the copper has been purchased, and that's good. And the orders have slowed down since we raised the price to kind of slow that down to catch up on our existing orders. So that's working just fine. But most important is today we picked up enough copper to cover all of our orders up until anything placed, including today. And we have 200 pounds in stock. We're going to show you that right now. And that's the eBay status, order status for our eBay customers. And we'll send you a link to this video. Thank you very much. Okay, well there's today's copper buy. Today is Monday, March 22nd. And that's 200 pounds of copper right there. And that's going to catch us up on all of our orders that are pending to date. Today's as of March 22nd. That's going to catch us up on all of our orders. They didn't have the bright, they wouldn't sell us the bright and shiny at Scrapyard A. They did last week, and we showed you that, but they wouldn't sell it to us today. So when your scrapyard won't sell you copper, that's I should tell you something. So, but we got this stuff here, and this particular gauge is about our favorite stuff. It strips very easily. It's thick enough that you don't have to strip too many feet to get good weight. You can see that's 200 pounds there, and it's not, it's not quite a wide mass of copper. It's 200 pounds, so it'll strip fairly quickly, and it's still thin enough to cut with those cable cutters you see there, and also thin enough to wrap into a ball that we can drop into the crucible. And but also heavy enough that when it does get wound up, it makes a ball worthwhile. We got a blackbird up there chirping. He keeps saying really, and I feel like saying yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's about 200 pounds. So since we're going to strip this, it's going to go pretty quickly. But we didn't get the bright and shiny. But that's okay. It's going to go quick, and we're going to take that as an opportunity to reline our forge. We're going to cut to a shot of that in a minute. We've put several hundred pounds through our forge, and it's just cooked. We need to recoat the inside, and then that needs to set maybe for a day or overnight. So while we're stripping this wire, we're going to recoat our forge, and we're going to cut to a shot of that in a minute, and talk a little bit about how we do that. Thank you very much. Okay, there's the inside of our forge, and you can see it's holding up pretty well. I mean, there's a sea of molten copper down there at the bottom, and you can see there at the bottom of the screen. Let's see if we get a better shot of it right there. There toward the bottom of the screen. There you go, right there. There's an area has cracked away right around the burner cone. That's where we coated it with refractory concrete. And I think you can also see here. Maybe on this side, you can see that down in that area again now, sort of at the bottom of the screen, that the walls of the forge, we're rotating around and get toward the top of the screen. The walls of the forge, there we go. That's a good shot. There we go. Yeah, you can see it's eating away pretty hard at it. So we're gonna fill that in with some refractory concrete. We also reworked the lid of the Devil Forge. You can see those bolts there. What we did is we took the ceramic wool, some of the ceramic wool that they came with, and we put it underneath between this piece of board here and the lid. Now what we did is we bought some ceramic fiber board with a high temperature rating. We need something rigid. The design of the Devil Forge with a soft insulation in the lid just doesn't hold up. And what we did is we coated it with tab cast. Well, we coated it with our refractory concrete that we're going to show you in a minute. We did cut this out by hand, but we'll probably have some of these cut with water jet. So basically it's a ceramic wool board bolted in, held in with these stainless steel bolts. But these stainless steel bolts, see, you can see are mostly in the white area. What happens is we used a gasket here cut of ceramic wool around the whole periphery of the forge, you see, and that keeps the heat. You can see this heat area, the black area in the center, is kept for the most part the heat going through. We had a leak at one point and it went there, but we resealed it. We thickened up the gasket there and that sealed it. You can see here on the side of the Devil Forge that the metal's been eaten away from the way it was sent from the factory. So, but this is all copper metal that has boiled off or fumed off. There's copper metal at the bottom. We have to clear all that off. We have to unquestionably fix that crack around the burner cone. That guy's got to go. We cannot continue to burn like that. That ceramic wool inside there is going to get eaten away. So that just has to be fixed. And then we'll coat the lid again with our refractory cement. This crack is there. It's eventually going to fall apart. We'll just leave it. We may coat it to hold it together a little bit, but the cement's not really going to fix that too much. It'll just kind of patch it a little bit. So the refractory cement we use is this stuff right here that's called Tabcast 94. This stuff is a miracle for our business. It's just no two ways about it. This is the refractory material that has the highest temperature. I think over 3,000 degrees. It's pretty high, maybe 3,700, really high. Basically like 1,000 degrees over the working temperature that we use. And it's that headroom, that extra headroom that we use that keeps this thing going. If you're working at close to the working temperature of your materials, it's going to wear them out quicker. So this is the material we use, this tab cast. And it's actually a concrete, so it's got grains in it, like 6mm size grains. So it's like pretty big actually. So it's got grains, about 1/4 inch size grains. And we sift those out when we want to use it as a coating to paint things. And we sort of did, you can see we did that here on the top of the lid. We use it to paint things here. So we sift the grains out, or we just cast it like a concrete, and we did cast it in the bottom, by the way. We did put a casting of tab cast in the bottom of this, which is exactly why all that molten copper, there's probably about 1/4 inch thick now, the copper that spills or falls off the side, all of that sits on top of the tab cast, and it's not a problem. Unfortunately, the crucible now sits in a puddle of liquid copper every time we melt, and it's just not the way to do it any longer. So, but because we use that tab cast solid in the bottom, that copper is able to sit on top of there no problem, and we're able to run hundreds of pounds of metal out of it just like without this, where's the crack right there? Just without this crack showing up right there, the one that is showing up right there around the burner cone. Hundreds of pounds of metal we've burned through here without this crack starting to open up, and that's a mixture of tab cast on the outside that came off and all the copper metal that's plated onto it. So this stuff works and it holds up long term. So we're going to paint that over. We're going to cast that over with a small amount and then paint it, seal everything up, reseal our forge, and we'll be able to do that 200 pounds of copper straight through without having to do any more work on the forge, basically. So that's basically what we say when we say we need time, when we ask for a week lead time, when we talk about furnace maintenance. Yeah, it needs to be done. This stuff is high maintenance, and it's high maintenance, high temperature, and it's certainly not maintenance free. So that's our order status update for 22nd March today, 2021 from the Boca Mint. I want to thank you all for buying our bars, because we love making them for you. Thank you.